Neto in the backcourt, and Thomas Bryant will be the center. For the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving together for the first time. Those two guys, they signed prior to last year. They'll be joined by Joe Harris, Spencer Dinwiddie, and DeAndre Jordan. This Brooklyn Nets team has high expectations, playing only 2 preseason games. Steve Nash, in his first year as the head coach, speaking with Jacques Vaughn, who took over as the interim head coach last year, Steve Nash kept him on. And Steve Nash is joined by his former head coach, Mike D'Antoni. And then Amari Stoudemire, his former teammate, who was also teammates with Deni Avdija last year in Israel.
And let me one-up you. Sean Marks is his ex-teammate in Phoenix with D'Antoni. He's running the whole operation there, JK, so they're busted.
And Scott Brooks, now in his 5th year with the Wizards, he will have a familiar face, as we talked about, when Russell Westbrook makes his debut for this Wizards team. There is Kyrie Irving, played just 20 games last year for Brooklyn. Kevin Durant coming back from the Achilles injury. Much like John Wall, we saw Wall make his debut for Houston. Looked really good. Great to see that. But here is Thomas Bryant jumping center against DeAndre Jordan. And the tip is chased down by Troy Brown Jr.
And this is a good opportunity for the Wizards in their second unit out there, actually starting and getting reps against guys and the likes of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I mean, these are not any walkovers.
No. Here's Neto, free agent acquisition. Nice little floater from the baseline to get the scoring started. The officials for tonight's game: Gediminas Petraitis, Marat Kogut, and Brandon Adair.
And Neto's a solid point guard. He could start, play him at a backup position. Did a great job in Utah.
Kyrie Irving off the back of the rim. Loose ball rebound to Dinwiddie. Here's Durant all the way to the hoop. His first 2 points, a nice dunk for Durant.
And that's a great sign for Kevin Durant. I mean, that's giving him confidence right now that he's back into the game. Taking a year and a half off is not easy.
Troy Brown Jr.'s one dribble pull-up, no, and a rebound for Durant. Durant playing in the Eastern Conference for the first time in his career. Here's DeAndre Jordan. You know he can do that.
It's interesting that DeAndre Jordan is starting at that center position over Jared Allen, who you thought would have been more the promising guy to start in that role. But I think they're going veteran mode here on out to continue the season. Here's Hachimura trying to attack Durant. A little bit of a wild shot there by Rui Hachimura. Joe Harris re-signed, the three-point marksman. He re-signed with Brooklyn, much like Davis Bertans re-signed with the Wizards. Bertans not playing in tonight's game. Troy Brown Jr. trying to shoot over Durant. That's a tough guy to shoot over. I mean, talk about a wingspan. He's listed at 6'9", but he's really 6'11".
Maybe even 7 feet.
Maybe, with shoes on, huh?
Dinwiddie, the lob. Jordan couldn't get up for it. Here comes Troy Brown Jr. And I believe Avdija was on the sideline, so that's going to be a turnover.
Well, this is the type of plays you want to make and to test out, especially after injury, especially after Achilles tear. And Kevin Durant showing you right there that he's back and probably better than ever.
You know, it's also good, though, when you're 6'11", 7 feet in that wingspan, you don't have to elevate too high to throw it down. There is the first-round pick for the Wizards this year, Deni Avdija. And he is going to have a big following. Last year playing for Maccabi Tel Aviv. Numbers aren't spectacular, just 19 years old, but he's 6'9". I just want fans to kind of temper their expectations. Don't expect him to be Luka Doncic.
Well, I spoke to Amari Stoudemire. He was his teammate last year in Israel. And asked him, will he be as Thomas Bryant gets a great block on the weak side? You know, I like that, too. He's showing a presence. But Amari told me that he's going to be a great pro. And this was before the Wizards drafted him because I was interested. I didn't get to see too much film on Deni, but now seeing him and getting the response from guys that I respect in this league, I think he has a bright future.
Yeah, even Scott Brooks talked about it pregame. Now, in drills during camp, he's been getting fouled, doesn't say anything. Neto misses the three. Troy Brown Jr. trying to crash the glass out of bounds, but Dia never complains, just goes right back at it, and that's one of the reasons why he's earned the start in this first preseason game.
You heard Coach Brooks in a pregame conference saying that he doesn't say anything. He was getting beat up in training camp, getting fouled, and never complained about it, and earned the respect of not only the coaches but his teammates. And that goes a long way, especially early on in the season. You kind of want to set your template early as an individual, as a player in this league. And why not start early in training camp like Denny has?
This was a defensive 3 seconds against Thomas Bryant, who's arguing his case to Murat Kogut. Kyrie Irving, a very good free throw shooter, gives Brooklyn a 7-2 lead.
I wonder if he'll talk to you about his free throw shooting.
Via Instagram, he will.
Or IG Live.
We're going to talk about that because, you know, here's Kyrie Irving finishing, but he was named the vice president of the NBPA last year in February, and he's not talking to the media. How do you feel about that?
I guess he should have never said the earth was flat.
And a foul is called against Kyrie Irving.
But yeah, I mean, it's a tough situation. One thing, as basketball players, you have to go and do your job. A. B, you're going to have to talk to the media.
Isn't that part of the job?
That is part of the job. And, you know, you sign that in your contract that you're going to have media availability. And to go against that, I mean, you must think that Kyrie Irving, it's Denny. It's his first
Happy
shot.
Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Got the number 9 on, looking spiffy too. But it's going to have to give some give or take. I mean, you can't just get fined every day of not having media availability. And I think there'll be some common ground here shortly with Kyrie.
Now Dinwiddie draws the foul against Troy Brown Jr. I'll tell you what, if Danny Avdija can hit those threes, that will be a huge asset to this team. I mean, he's left wide open.
And he's left wide open for a reason, JK. Nobody has a scouting report on him, not even us. So it's hit or miss. Do you leave him open? Do you close out? Now, when you start making shots like that, you start winning the respect of your opponents. And then what do you do next? When they start closing out, put the ball on the floor. So that's the next step we would like to see Denny take here on out.
Dinwiddie makes both free throws, 6-point. Brooklyn leads. Steve Nash just looking casually. Wonder what's going through his mind, right? I mean, this is a guy, 2-time NBA MVP, has never been a coach. He was a consultant with the Warriors, and here he is now coaching his first game. Granted, it is a preseason game.
Yeah, he's probably never sat on the bench without actually going into a basketball game. So it's a different feeling for Coach Steve Nash. I mean, that even sounds different. Coach Nash.
I will say, I think they're going to